Sea turtles are so cool and mysterious, and they have a lot of interesting features and behaviors that they exhibit. So, why don't we talk about them today? To start off, what is a sea turtle? If you couldn't tell by its name, it's a turtle that lives in the sea. Sea turtles are turtles that have adapted to live completely in the ocean, with females coming on land every year to lay their nests. But before we go further on about their behaviors, let's talk about their anatomy. Sea turtles are reptiles like their land-dwelling counterparts. There are two families of sea turtle, Colonidae, or the hard-shelled turtles, and Dermochelidae, or the leatherback turtles. They have an external shell, and the top of their shell is called the carapace, with the bottom being called the plastron. Their shells are basically a modified version of their spine and ribs, which protects their organs that are contained inside. They also have a layer of keratin covering their shells, which they shed and regrow throughout their lives. Turtles can actually feel if you touch them or when anything manipulates their shells. Sea turtles have large, bladed flippers made for efficiently propelling themselves through the ocean, as well as smaller back flippers that they can use for steering. All sea turtles do have these spikes of keratin called papillae in their esophagus that goes all the way down to their stomach, which is to help protect them from jellyfish stings when eating and allows them to keep their food down when they regurgitate all the salt water that they take in. There are 7 species of sea turtle in the world: the loggerhead, Kemp's ridley, olive ridley, flatback, hawksbill, green sea turtle, and the leatherback. Each species has its own unique features, and you can tell them apart by looking for a couple different things. They vary in size and shape, as well as their beak shapes and the amount of costal scutes that they have on their carapace. Each species has a specialized diet, and you can often tell what they eat by the shape of their beaks. Leatherbacks exclusively eat sea jellies, greens eat vegetation like seagrass and kelp, Kemp's ridleys prefer sponge and coral, and so on and so forth. They also have the ability to hold their breath for up to several hours at a time, even sleeping underwater. Let's go through the life cycle and behaviors of a sea turtle. Once female sea turtles reach about 20 plus years, they gain the ability to start laying eggs and will continue to lay nests pretty much until they die. The mama sea turtle will come up on the beach, somewhere in the proximity of the beach she was born on generally, and find a good spot to lay her eggs. Not too close to the water or they'll drown if washed over, but not too far away from the water. She'll dig a nest and lay between 65 and 180 eggs. After a couple months or so, the eggs will begin to hatch in what's called a boil, and the babies will come crawling out and make their way to the ocean. This dash to the sea is a crucial point, as there are a lot of predators laying in wait because these babies are super vulnerable. Once the babies make it to the water, they have to avoid ocean predators, but they'll feed near the shore until they make it to their teen years, where they'll go off to find a good feeding ground. Once the females reach adult age, then they'll start laying their own nests. The life of a sea turtle is a hard one, as only about 1 in 1,000 babies make it to adulthood. From the time they leave the nest, the world is out to get them. But once they reach adulthood, they really only have about 2 big predators: sharks and humans. And which do you think is their number 1 predator? I'll give you a hint. It's not the sharks. That's right, humans are a sea turtle's number 1 predator. Pollution, habitat destruction, boat strikes, and becoming bycatch are some of the biggest reasons that sea turtles are endangered. There are organizations that are dedicated to tracking sea turtles and guidelines set around sea turtle protection so that we can protect these vulnerable animals. Did you learn something new about sea turtles? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're at it. Check out my previous videos about sea jellies and sea stars, and I'll see you guys in the next video.